The Yamaha is back. Actually, it never left. I got a hold of the owner and I talked to him, and he does want that action lowered. It's well, as you can see, the old timer's way. This is the old timer's way of checking this. I'm going to measure it just because I'm curious what it is. If you can get 2/4 underneath there at the 12th fret, it's pushing the string up a little bit, but that's way too much action. It's way too high. Wow, it goes underneath there without raising the first string up, I believe. Need my glasses to tell for sure, but either way, it's way too high. And I'm going to have to do a fret job on this. The frets are dented fairly bad up here, the first 3 or 4 of them. The rest of them aren't too bad, but one fret spoils the whole thing when you set the action down low. So hang on, let me put this camera on a tripod. I just want to measure that out of curiosity, see what it is, because I get an idea of how much I need to drop it back here at the saddle. If I, for instance, want to drop this 20 thousandths, this is just, you know, an estimate to explain. If I want to drop this 20 thousandths at the 12th fret, I'll probably need to take about 40 thousandths off back here on the back underneath the saddle. I don't know if we have that much or not, but yeah, I got to check the neck relief and all that plays a part in that. And I'm going to do the frets, set the relief, lower the action, and then buff the entire guitar, make it shine like brand new again. So let me get the camera set up here and let's get started. Hang on. So just to see, I just want to get an idea of what this action is. It's really high. It's very high. It's 7/64 on the bass side, and more than that. 9/64 on the treble side and 7/64 on the bass side. Wow, that's way too high, man. So I'm just curious what it was. We'd like to see that on the bass side. I like to set mine about 5/64 and 3/64 on the bottom side. 7/64. 0.1094 inches. Holy cow. That's way too high. I guess I need to take the strings off of this baby and do the frets first. So do the frets first and then we'll set the action on it. 10/4. Well, a couple of things here. I should have mentioned it. I should have filmed this probably. How to get the arch of the neck, the fingerboard, which is a 16. I should have mentioned that before and probably filmed it. All it is when you level these frets, you want to put this arch back into it. And that's not much of an arch, but it's a little bit of one. 16 inches is what the arch on this fretboard and saddle is. I measured them both. This tool measures the neck. I have ones that you can measure with the strings on it. And this, you can see that. You measure, put underneath it, you stick it down in under the strings and pull it up to get the arch at the saddle or anywhere under the strings, and this measures the arch of the neck. So it's a 16. All that is like, you know, if you would draw, say if you would say this was paper and you'd make a dot right here and measure 16 inches out here and start coming around, with this being the very center, and 16 inches out, start coming around. That's the arch that you would get. That's what this is, the arch that this guitar has. That's the best I can explain it anyway. And I popped the third string, taking it off too many times, man, so I'm going to have to find a third string for it now when we put it back together. But I've got so many videos of me doing this. I'm just going to touch on the basics here, maybe show you a few little things. I've already straightened the neck. I checked it with a level straight edge. It's late, man. I'm tired. And I'm going to use this. This is a diamond file, and flatten those frets. Probably knock the nut out of it up here so I can come right off into infinity. Until I'm going to mark all the frets blue across, each fret blue, and then slowly start, very slowly and gently start taking off the frets until those dents are gone. And with the blue marked on there, I can see, what's come off and what's been left. If there's any low frets or high frets, or I can gather a lot of information from that. So the first thing we'll do is mark the frets blue, knock the nut out, and gently start working my way up. I need to tie those strings off. Working my way up until the blue and the dents are all gone, so to speak. So I'll be back when that's done. Well, you can see where most of the material came off, the high spots. There's a tiny bit of indentation in a couple of the frets yet, but I'm leaving that for a reason, because by the time I dress those and crown them and put the arch back in them and crown them and everything, then it's going to be completely gone. There won't be any sign of dents then. So just showing you where we are. You can still see a little bit of blue on there, but on the very ends. So hang on, I'm going to sweep that up, and I need to find a 16 sanding block to put the arch back in. Those frets are flat city now. Hang on. I keep forgetting to mention things. When I was leveling these frets, when you do that, you don't want to push down too hard. You want to be very gentle leveling the frets. You can push actually hard enough until the neck gets a forward bow and it's no longer perfectly flat or straight. You don't want to push so hard that it warps the neck, bends the neck. It'll screw everything up. I ran a number 16 sanding block over these, put the arch back in them, and I'm just going over them with the crown file now, which keeps getting clogged up. But I'm just showing you where we are. I would recommend, if you do this, you count the times you go across with that crowning file. This is not a diamond file. I'll go across about 10 times. Then I'm going to flop the guitar over and come across 10 times from the other side on every fret. And then I'm going to polish every fret, every single one. So it's going to be a long time, but I'm just showing you, catching you up on what's going on. So that's where we are now. Crowning. I didn't have to knock the nut out. I should have mentioned that, because I didn't need to take very much off. And just, I was going to start down here and sand up this way, but I ended up starting up here and sanding down this way. Anyways, this little tool, polishing stick, I think is what it's called. You can find them on eBay. StewMac sells them. It's like a belt sander. It's got a little strip of really fine sandpaper on it right now, which I need to change before I start. I'm going to start with about an 800 grit with this thing. And we'll go across every fret, each fret, and I'm going to do it under high magnification so I can see that, well, so I can see because I'm blind, old. And we want to achieve is a very smooth, slick, polished, nice looking fret with no dents in it. There's a rough spot. You know, when the player bends a string, you don't want that scratchy feeling shit, man. That's the worst. Many people that do fret jobs leave that, and you know, that's shouldn't ever do that. It's not pleasant. It sounds like shit. You know, you want that thing to slide across, that string to slide across that fret with no friction, you know, or as little as possible. That's what this does. It just makes it really smooth. I'll start with an 800 grit belt. I've got to change that. And I'll work my way up to 1500 grit. Should be sufficient to make that really smooth. So anyways, I'm not going to bore you with that, just showing you how to do it. I'll come back after it's done and we'll chew some more fat. Can you dig it? Well, the frets are done. Brand new frets, man. No dents. They look as shiny and slick as a piece of glass. I'm just setting the neck relief right now. Thankfully, the truss rod does work very well on this guitar. As I've showed you before, put a capo on the first fret, tune it up to pitch, put a capo on the first fret, note to 15th, 16th, 7th, I note the 17th fret, and you want to check with the feelers gauge at the 7th, 8th, and 9th in that area, and you should see about 10 thousandths of an inch gap there within one of those frets, or all of them ideally. And that's what we've got exactly. Boy, it just goes in there and that's all. The old timers used to say put a capo on the first fret, note the 17th fret, and you should be able to play a note if your if your relief is anywhere near correct. So there's the note. If that's true. Anyways, doing it more technically, we have 10 thousandths of an inch of relief in the neck right now. I took 30 thousandths off of this saddle to bring this down about 15 thousandths. I want to see now, I'll take the capo off and see what the action sets at. That's roughly about, let me check it with this. Six 64ths on the bass side. 4, 5, 6 64ths on the bass side. 5 64ths on the treble side at the 12th fret. So we're well within specs, and it's perfect. I think I hear the beer fairy. Woo! So we got 6 64ths there. That's 3 32nds, right? And 5 64ths, closer to 4 64ths down here, which is way lower than it was when it came in here. Rich, this thing is going to play like a brand new baby. If you were used to playing it the way it was, you're going to like this action and this setup, I think. popped the third string. I had to stick I think it's a Martin string on there. They are elixirs, all but the third string. It's a Martin, I think. So anyways, the neck relief is set, the frets are done, leveled, dressed, polished, crown polished, and everything that it needed, and the action and all that good shit is completed, man. Can you dig it? Let's see what she sound like. Well, actually, not see what she sound like yet. I gotta buff this guitar and put the truss rod cover back on it. I'll put the truss rod cover on it first, and then I'm going to buff it out good and clean it up and make it look as good as it sounds. This is a good guitar. It's a good box. Has a really good sound. Rich, you've got a keeper here, man. This thing is an awesome guitar. I'm going to put the truss rod cover back on and buff it out good. Front, back, sides, neck, everything. Buff the whole thing out so it'll look nice for you. And then we'll see what it sounds like. So, hold on. Say, you're all taking there because she really buffed up nice, man. Oops. Oh, God. Let's see. Now check that pitch again. Buffed the whole guitar out. I even cleaned up this thing. It looks like new again. Cleaned up really nice. I swear, man, I would throw this thing away. I mean, I'm not knocking your equipment, but this takes away. This guitar has really got balls, man. It's got a wonderful, awesome sound, and this only takes away from it. You know, if you play through an amp a whole lot, you might want to use this to, you know, help eliminate some feedback. But I swear, man, if you play mostly acoustic, I would leave that thing out, because this guitar really has balls. It sounds good, great, and that's only going to take away from it. So, anyways, let me. That's your personal preference. I guess it's whatever the individual likes. But I'm going to check the pitch again, make sure everything's right. I had to tighten one of the keys up. The fourth key was real loose. I want to keep it, a couple days or a day or two. Just let it settle down and watch it, and make sure nothing changes. Make sure everything stays where it's supposed to. That action looks nice, man. And probably be sending it home this week, one day this week. But I want to watch it for a few days, just make sure everything stays okay with it. So hang on, we'll see what she sounds like. I already know it sounds good, but I'll show you anyway. Hold on. Strings are stretching on this. They look like they've been on there for a while, but they're still stretchy. See what I mean? This guitar has got balls, baby. For all you cell phone users, I use a program called DaTuner, D-A-T-U-N-E-R, DaTuner Lite. I'll show it to you in a minute what it looks like. I'll show you up closer in a few minutes how it works and what it looks like. I highly recommend it. I checked it with my Peterson. It's if you got it set on 440, it's dead on the money. I'll try to remember to add that to the end of this video. So if you are an Android user, you may want to check that out. The width of these strings are closer than I'm used to. I guess it's a thing that Yamaha does different from Martin, and I can really feel that. I do believe you're going to like this a lot, man. She roars, man. It's nice, sweet, awesome. So there you go. A complete overhaul on this thing. It really buffed out nice. I've already got the marks so I need to wipe it down now. But anyway, she is set up and is really sweet, man. Sounds awesome guitar. Good guitar. It's a keeper, no doubt. The pickup, everything works now. The battery box, all that is fixed inside there, so nothing to rattle around when you move the guitar. So, and it's set up properly now and should be good. You know, the fret job should last a long time depending on... That's the thing I meant to mention. I can get this action lower, but if the player has a, you know, heavy hand, you don't want to go too low and start getting buzzing. Not that kind of buzz. But you know, I could set it lower than that, but it's within specs, so it's kind of close for someone that might have a light touch, or someone that, you know, plays a little bit heavier. It's a real fine line there when you set up guitars for people. So it's kind of set, you know, to a low, medium low setting. It feels like an electric guitar almost, with heavier strings on. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Rich, thank you, man. I'll try to get it in the mail this week sometime. I want to keep it a couple days and watch it, or a day or so anyway. Well, probably by the time you see this video, you may have it by then. I don't know. But anyways, thanks to Rich. Thanks to all the subscribers, the new people that's coming along. I appreciate you guys very much, man. You got to call up your friends and tell them to subscribe. Sub up, dude. They'll be glad they did, because there's a lot of good lessons and more repair work. I'm going to work on some other instruments besides guitars. Have a mandolin coming in that's going to be a big job. A bass, an electric bass, I think. Yeah, and I don't know, just some few things I can think of that's supposedly coming in here pretty soon. Anyways, thanks also to the old subscribers, the new and the old. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Click the ads, gotta say, I have to tell you, click the ads, man. Do please click the ads. I get paid for that. It's not much, but thank you guys for that. Thank you for your support, and more to come soon. Cheers. Here is the tuner light for Android. I can't hum good enough or in tune to show you how it works, and I don't have a guitar right here at the moment, but it's sweet. Believe me, you'll like it. You can use it on all instruments, not just guitar. It's got a lot of options that you can play with. When you hit the actual note, say if I'm tuning there, a G, if I'm tuning to a G and I hit the right note, it turns green, and this thing stays exactly in the center, and it'll show you a G if it's a G note. Roughly is how it works. Anyways, cheers folks, hope you like it, hope you can get you one, and Rich, hope you like this guitar. Cheers to everybody. Peace out.